Hello, Facebook, YouTube. We got some duck action over here and duck bonding over there. It's a lot of duck, splashing and, splashing and, hey, quit splashing the other duck. Splashing and a lot of duck harmony going on here and splashing. Don't forget the splashing. Don't forget the splashing. That duck is not forgetting the splashing part. It's just the splasher of the ducks. You know what I'm saying? You're going to always have a splasher, always, splashing. And you're trying to relax and sit in the pond and chill, and the splasher has to come and interrupt all the vibe. What am I talking about? About ducks. Sounds like a good message. Stay away from the splashers, y'all. Okay, just funny. All right. Topic of the message. Well, always meditating on my message today and meditating on the whole. Here's the thing. When I thank God that I learned that. I thank God for Him teaching me about the ideal of fearing the Lord, because I work at the paint and pottery studio and Carlton Arms. Those that are Bradenton knows where Carlton Arms at. And I sit and I be with my friend Robbie, and I listen to music, and I listen to the music. Of course, it's secular music, and I listen to the oldies. It got old and up to the kind of to the 90s or to like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s kind of. And I listened to the music, and I was like listening to it and hearing the influence, and I'm like, wow, And I always be like, when I hear stuff, I hear those songs and I hear how they sound and what they're saying and what they're expressing and what, expressing and what they're saying. And how, to me, how easily for people at that time to pretty much be distracted by, that idea of music and a lot of things, and I think about not just music, of course, sports and television and movies. Have a good day. And really, to me, the secular, or actually the worldly influence, and how it have a great impact then, and how strong the impact is right now, and how vulnerable pretty much humanity is subject. Unfortunately, too many people, or most people, are subject to the influence of it, and how would it unfortunately direct their lives of going the wrong direction. Is wow. I meditate on that, and I can shake my head. I just shake my head, because we're talking about millions and millions to billions of people throughout generation and generation. And that influence and how much it played a role. And I want to do a research of gospel music. I want to research the impact of gospel music concerning not, they got the black gospel music. I'm talking about gospel music, contemporary Christian music. Well, in general, I want to know how that has impacted at the time period of a lot of music, and how much influence did it hold up. I don't think it hold up enough influence to truly represent the gospel of Jesus Christ. Because here's the thing which y'all don't understand. I mean, that people are not understanding this, and people in the church is not understanding. You know what I'm saying? That Jesus, his blood is supposed to be so powerful that it's supposed to it's a power that is created to overcome. You know what I'm saying? It's a power that is created to overcome anything, anybody, period. You know what I'm saying? It's an overcoming powerful force that is supposed to take over whatever is contrary of the influence of it. It's supposed to, because it's light and that's darkness, it's supposed to take over it. It's not come under it, but take over it. You know what I'm saying? That I always was weird about me going to church and see how, and I hear how Jesus is presented and as this great, man, it's this great, powerful name, and he's great and this and great and that. And I'm listening to how great he is, and I'm like, well, if he's great, why he just won't take over the kingdom of darkness? The other side of the negativity that is going on this earth. It always boggled me when I was going to church. I mean, it's like, okay, if he's this great, you beat the darkness. You know what I'm saying? That I always, was weird. But I won't get in the subject. But I want to talk about this idea of fearing the Lord. But fearing the Lord, and thank God I hear about the story of Elijah. You know what I'm saying? And Elijah's story is supposed to make sense, to the church, But the church used the church minister about Elijah going against the 450 prophets. They talk, they preach about it, but the ideal aspect of Elijah coming against 150 prophets is Elijah defeated them just like that. I mean, Elijah defeated them like, shut out. It was it was just, a blowout. They called upon their gods, and they were cutting blood and everything and doing all kind of crazy stuff. And Elijah mocked the 450 prophets. That I'm like, wait, hold on. Not only he's coming against these prophets, he's mocking them. Whoa, I mean, that is just like, that would not, I don't see no Christians mocking the ideal, impact of secular worldly things, That's another message. But, it's like, it doesn't, and he challenged them and he defeated them, you know what I'm saying? It was a shutout, and what I'm going to be teaching about Elijah is, Elijah asked the question to the people, you know what I'm saying? The Israel people up the north, why are you in the betwixt? Either you're for God or for the Lord thy God, or you for Baal. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple, Have a good day, sir. If you for God, for the Lord thy God, you for the Lord thy God. If you for Baal, you for Baal. Well, watch this. What Elijah's saying, for those that got ears to hear, is, well, if God is your God, there should be rain pouring down, There should be rain. There should not be no drought. There should not be no 7-year drought if God is your God. See, that's why they didn't say nothing. Because if the Lord thy God is your God, it's supposed to be raining. You know what I'm saying? If you're serving him and living for him and following his instructions, following his commandments, rain is supposed to be happening. But if you're not doing that, or you serving Baal, a drought will happen. You know what I'm saying? That people need to understand. But those that have an ears to hear and have eyes to see the situation for what it is saying concerning that Elijah challenged the prophet, the 150 prophets, and did not matter how much a number. You know what I'm saying? And oh man, and watch this. I was talking about the fear of the Lord is coming in agreement. I mean, I was talking about the one consent, the one consent. Well, we got one prophet here. You know what I'm saying? We have one prophet here challenging 450 prophets. You know what I'm saying? But in this case, that I was talking about concerning the children of Israel, you're supposed to be one nation under God. Well, one nation following the Jehovah God, that you decide that you want a flesh and blood leader, a flesh and blood king to take his place, that's the situation. But the thing is, here's the one true prophet that's finna come against 450 prophets, and he was in agreement with the Lord thy God, the Elijah. You know what I'm saying? Was in agreement, and because he was in agreement with the Lord thy God, of course, he's going to defeat these 450 prophets and get fire to come down from heaven. And I can't go, man. See, the ideal, what people need to understand when Elijah did his thing and fire came down from heaven, the fire is supposed to represent the Holy Ghost. Yes. But watch this, what it's supposed to represent, that Elijah did his, created his altar and fire came down. And, it talks about the consuming fire of God, that it's the concerning jealousy. Consuming fire that is about the jealousy of God. Is a jealous God. If you read Hebrews, I think it's 12. Is it in 12? I think it's the last chapter in 12 verse, or the 13th verse. I forgot. Somewhere in there. But it talks about the consuming fire of God, that he's jealous of you being with this. In this case, the people was involved with the Baal. They were worshiping Baal, and Baal, it rhymes. Baal is about worshiping yourself. You know what I'm saying? The me, myself, and I, the cursed Trinity. I guess it's Friday over here. It get a lot of traffic over here on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? I don't hardly see these kind of vehicles flow through here. But Baal is all about worshiping yourself. Me, myself, and I, the cursed Trinity. And you get people to worship themselves. Like this world system is all about cater of worshiping yourself and making yourself a god. They think that you are this great person, whatever you do, whether it's singing or dancing or rapping or whatever you do, you think that you're great like a god or as God. Remember what the serpent told Eve? She was as God. This world system is all about getting people as God. And, I guess at that time, they were on that as God. And guess what? They, worship, Baal, And Elijah challenged their false gods and goddesses. But it's, like I said, is the church supposed to be challenging darkness? You know what I'm saying? Is we supposed to be challenging darkness concerning of our influence? You know what I'm saying? We supposed to be, because, that's what I find out, that the church is not challenging darkness concerning influence, and we should be. If we are truly of God, we should be challenging, the darkness. Now, I'm finna give a shout out to this rapper named Bizzle, and this rapper named Bizzle, he was rapping, and when he came onto the scene, he challenged, Jay-Z concerning the rapper, concerning his influence, and that his, he was letting, him know that he didn't like the influence that he was giving to people, and all kind of negative things. He challenged, his influence pretty much. And the thing is, I heard my friend Adrian play music, and I was hearing him challenge the influence, a negative influence he was giving to people in his music. And I'm like, why is not we are challenging the influence of the things, not the people that you whatever it is, you're a terrible singer, you're a terrible rapper. No, not that we're not challenging the gift that they have, you know what I'm saying, but their influence of what they're saying, you know what I'm saying, the influence on what they telling people and making people believe, and people believe in it, and of course it's wrong. Why we're not challenging the darkness? Because we're the light, our influence, you know what I'm saying, Jesus Christ is supposed to overcome darkness. And the lack of the challenge to me of what's going on in a lot of venues concerning television, radio, so many aspects of influence is not happening the way it needs to happen to show that we are the light. Because if we're light, we would challenge darkness. You know what I'm saying? And coming against darkness concerning an influence, and speak how great, the light is, than it is darkness in all kind of shapes or form and things. But that's enough. I gotta go. I've wasted too much time. To God be the glory and forever and ever in Jesus' name.